Probably one of the most difficult courses in the world is the CA qualification from India by ICAI. So while the guys who have completed CA, whether it's the first attempt or not, I understand the amount of effort you guys have taken and there is tremendous respect for all of y'all. I've seen unfortunately a lot of people who really have the intent and the will, but sometimes due to many circumstances which are sometimes beyond our control, you will end up not clearing the exam. There is a line which people draw between when you're giving up and when it's the right time to move out of a qualification which you might be stuck in. So this video is for a lot of you guys who realize that it's time to move out of CA and you'll still want to stay in the field of finance and accounts, especially if you spent a couple of years already pursuing CA. And I'm going to try and give you all options of what you guys do if you all have not been able to clear CA. Before we get into it, guys, if this is the first time you visited the channel, then please do subscribe. And if you've been visiting us again, then thank you so much. Please do leave a like and comment so that others like you can help find us. All right, what do people do once they don't clear CA, right? So of course, the whole world knows that CS, which is Company Secretary, and CMA or ICWA, which is the Cost Accounting of India, are the most obvious options. But here I'm going to talk about obviously the global professional qualifications, which we have more clarity on with respect to what companies are hiring, MNCs, as well as opportunities that are available in India and overseas. So if you guys have been visiting our channel, you know that we specialize in ACCA, CFA, CPA, CMA, IFRS, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go on those lines currently. So number one, of course, ACCA. And ACCA, it's a no-brainer for many of you guys because number one, it's global CA. You literally become as valued or valuable knowledge-wise, career-wise, status-wise as that of a CA. The advantage is most likely because you must have gotten 40 plus in either some group in IPCC per subject, or if you reach the final CA level, you get exemptions in ACCA. So if you've been stuck in CA, a lot of people don't want to start anything from scratch, and that's the biggest advantage of ACCA. You started CA here and you have to end it over here, but you got stuck here. ACCA, you can start from here and finish it. You don't have to sort of restart, and that's a huge advantage for a lot of CAs. We've got so many guys over the last few years, so many CAs. One of my favorite stories is one of my students who in Delhi was stuck in CA. She was really finding it difficult to she was not clear what to do with her career, and then she came across ACCA and found us, and she started studying with us. In a year and a half, she cleared ACCA. She got a job in a company called BDO, and from there her career in India as well as opportunities internationally have been just rising, and she went from really struggling in something to having a successful career in a span of just 2 to 3 years. And that's the power of certain qualifications in the world. So ACCA is a huge advantage. Also, if you're a CA, ACCA is going to become easier because you don't have groups, right? You give one paper at a time. Again, those who are having a tough time in CA, if I ask you all, would you have had such a hard time if you did not have to give either inter CA or final CA as a group? You didn't have the aggregate system. You have to give one paper at a time and score 50 or 100. Most people would say, yeah, I could have done better, and that's the other advantage in ACCA. Lastly, if you're done with your articleship or in the middle of your articleship, all of that counts in ACCA to gain your membership over there. So a lot of advantages, syllabus-wise, exam-wise, articleship-wise, that you can find in ACCA. And the last advantage of ACCA is that because you won't be starting from scratch, the time frame for ACCA is extremely short. We have chartered accountants who dropped out at the final CA level because the amount of exemptions they've gotten, they finished ACCA in 6 months. In 6 months, they were up and about for their career. We have IPCC students who finish it between 12 to 15 months. So my point is that you don't have to wait much longer before your career takes off once again. Next, if you've not cleared CA, but you still want to become a chartered accountant, right? CPA is an amazing option because it's US, right? US CPA is in demand across the world, including India, right? US companies have set up a lot of their finance verticals over here. CPAs are in high demand in India, and that's how you can ensure that you don't have to worry about not becoming a chartered accountant. The advantage of CPA is it's only 4 exams you have got to give. You can finish it in less than a year if you go fast. And again, as a CA, most of you I know can complete it in a year max. So assume you've been stagnating for a while, just a year more of studies to do if you take up CPA and you'll be done. And as always, if you're a US chartered accountant, then there is no downside. Whether you want to work in India, whether you want to go overseas, whether you want to go to the US, whether you want to just claim yourself as a chartered accountant of US, that's career building for so many individuals in India as well as overseas. So CPA is an amazing qualification. Next, if you're somebody like me, right, I really like the performance management, the costing, the management accounting aspect, studying finance and accounts, because I love the fact that as a management accountant or as a performance manager, you can take into account all the internal decisions of an organization using numbers. CMA US is superb. It's built up. Personally, I'm telling you all, we've seen the growth in terms of what the industries want, what corporates want, and CMA in India and overseas once again has just boomed in the last couple of years. And again, the advantage of CMA is it takes a short time. You can finish it in 6 to 9 months. If you're a chartered accountant or you've been studying chartered accounting essentially, again, it should be much easier for you to complete. So CMA is again something superb. Next, CFA. If you liked finance when you were studying CFA is amazing. We have a lot of students who do CFA even after they've qualified as CAs. So it all depends on what you want to do. You want to stay in India, you want to go overseas, but you want to play in the field of finance. CFA is amazing. The only one thing about CFA which we've seen people have an issue with is they don't want to start from level 1 in CFA. Unlike the other qualifications I'm talking about, the duration for CFA is a little longer if you are dropping out of CA. But if it's finance that you like, then don't compromise here, because your next 2-3 years, it might take a while, but the rest of your life in the field of finance will just be an upward trajectory. Lastly, diploma in IFRS. Again, something that we've seen so many corporations come to us and train their own employees for IFRS. So again, if you failed CA, but you liked financial reporting, you liked IFRS, you like business reporting, then diploma in IFRS, a 3 to 6 month course recognized by the ACCA body across the world. India was one of the largest IFRS exam takers in the last 5 years across the world. So that's the demand in India itself. You have so many options, guys, if you've not completed CA. People do have options, like I mentioned earlier about CS and costing in India, cost accountant in India. You can also do CFP, you can also do FRM, you can also do short courses in accounts and finance. But guys, as long as y'all don't have to do a master's if you don't clear CA. You don't have to do an MBA. You don't have to go overseas and take a loan and spend 50-60 lakhs or even 10-20 lakhs for that matter. All of these qualifications you can finish in 3 to 4 lakhs and maybe lesser, depending on how ahead of in your CA y'all had reached before y'all plan to drop out. Let's assume take 2 years from today, if y'all are deciding to move out of CA. If I fast forward your life in 2 years from now, any of these qualifications is going to put you in a position to win, in a position where you guys are making the decision for your career, and most importantly, you guys are not stuck losing motivation and just might start hating finance and accounts, which is unfortunate because the domain, the industry of finance, of accounts is really, really exciting for those who have a knack for it. Just because you don't clear an exam in any of these as well, do not take it as a demotivating factor. We've seen so many people who feel that way. We really help them sort of get over this thought. We push them for a year more, and then when they do clear and their career takes off, feeling of accomplishment, of success is basically unparalleled. So with that, if there's anything else that we've missed out, then please do let us know, and as always, let us know what other videos we can make for you guys.